Cool. So, where'd Q go? Q, did you want to talk about this one? Or? All right, cool. There you go.
Hello, everybody. So for the CTF, I'm looking for competition architects, people, or not competition architects, challenge authors, CA, close enough. I'm looking for challenge authors and white team members to help run the CTF and write challenges for it. And I am also looking for IRSEC black team members. If you're interested in doing any of the above, please follow the link. There's a nice Google form to fill out. Any help would be appreciated.
Yeah. So if you guys have been looking for a way to get involved, I would definitely recommend participating on the black team or the white teams for our competitions and stuff. If you've already competed in a competition, blue teaming is going to be one of the best experiences you're ever going to have at RIT. That was also for IRSEC. Yep. Get learned. All right, so UB Lockdown is coming up soon. It is the red team, blue team style competition that University of Buffalo's security team hosts, or security club hosts. That is going to be October-ish? Did we ever find a date for that earlier?
Near future.
Somebody said it. It's somewhere in October, yeah. So we can send a limited number of teams to UB. I think it's about 12 people, give or take. It's a great first-time competition to get your feet wet if you have never competed in a competition before. It is a first-come, first-served basis, so if you're thinking about signing up, you should definitely do it sooner rather than later. That way you can secure a spot. When? It is October 26th. Part of our red team goes, and we have a bunch of blue teamers that go. So getting there is not going to be an issue. We've got a whole bunch of people that go in carpool. So if you guys are thinking about it, it's definitely a great opportunity, and I would definitely recommend it. Movie night. Coming up next weekend, not the next 2 days, but a week from now, we are going to be watching Swordfish in 1400 on Sunday the 15th. We're going to go, we're going to sit, and we're going to make fun of the movie the whole time and eat a bunch of food and have a really great time. So come join us to watch Swordfish. Matt, are you still here? Yeah.
Hello. So there's during ShmooCon, which is a hacker convention or a hacker conference around Washington, D.C., there will be a competition called Hack Fortress, which we have lost for like 3 years in a row. So we're trying to change that around, and all you need to do is know how to play TF2 or want to learn how to play TF2. Just join the workplace group, and we will announce a time to meet soon.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Get this fixed. All right, there we go. So tomorrow we are going to Letchworth. If you guys have already signed up, awesome. Make sure you join the workplace event and say that you're going. That way you get notifications for whenever I post announcements and stuff. We are going to be meeting in C-Lot tomorrow morning at 9:45. So park there and then walk inside Grace Watson to Beans, because that's where we're all going to be hanging out until we're ready to go. That way we can grab food and whatnot. I'm going to have a case of water and granola bars in case anybody needs anything while we're out there. It's going to be a really good time. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to go hiking. So get hyped for that. And without further ado, on to the news. Oh, it's not mirrored. All right. So sorry, Matt, you posted this in news, and then I didn't see it, and I still included it in the news. So oh well. So basically what happened was a Chinese company that manufactured IoT GPS trackers ended up having a default password of 123456 for all of their devices. And so all of these devices were able to actually be remotely tracked and monitored because that's kind of what they're intended for. But when you have a default password of 123456, anybody can do it instead of just you. So it caused a bit of an issue. It wasn't actually just their device either. They manufactured the same devices for over 30 different companies that just kind of rebadged everything and put it in different packaging. So over 31 different vendors had this same issue of using that as default password, which first of all, you should just never do. And second of all, if you guys ever get any devices, please change all the passwords. Next up, we have some news. 419 million Facebook's users' phone numbers were exposed in a data dump that happened back before Facebook had actually restricted access to that kind of information. So back before the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal, a couple companies collected a whole bunch of information, and they ended up storing it, and it was stored on a server, I think without protected auth, mentions it somewhere. Yeah, an unsecured server. So they held 419 million phone numbers along with some different demographic data on the actual users themselves. So it contained user IDs for the accounts that these numbers were actually linked to. So you could link a number with a person if you could find out their UID on Facebook, and a whole bunch of other different pieces of data.
Is it public?
I'm not sure. I think the server got its hosting pulled once people realized what was going on. And then they just kind of said, oh yeah, oops, our bad. But it wasn't actually Facebook that leaked the data, it was a third party, just like the Cambridge Analytica stuff.
Yeah. So it's something.
Yeah, pretty much. But this can't happen anymore because Facebook stopped giving everybody that information. Oop, that's not the one I wanted. That's next. So there have been a bunch of attacks going around with sending people spam straight into their Google Calendar. So even if an email gets flagged as spam in Gmail, at least before this attack was recognized, people could spam out calendar invites, which would just create recurring events every day for the rest of eternity that had spam links in them. So people would get notifications saying, hey, go check out this spam that just happened to be in your calendar. And they would link to malicious sites and stuff like that. And it got all around all of the normal protections that Gmail has for it. And if you go into your Gmail itself and change one of the options, I think it's the one to remove declined events from your calendar, it stops this all from happening. And a bunch of people started figuring this out all at the same time. And the attack kind of died now, but it was really cool to see how a bunch of people just ended up with a crap load of spam in their calendars. Next up, this was a pretty cool article. It talks about how a bunch of schools in the UK, after GDPR happened, went through a bunch of different audits and stuff like that, and they realized that 1 in 5 schools has had students, first of all, smart enough to actually break into their stuff, and second of all, actually break into their stuff. So that was pretty cool to see, aside from the fact that stuff was getting broken into. They had a bunch of other cool statistics in this article that I can't remember off the top of my head. But, oh yeah, so 83% of the other schools 83% of the other schools that were in the survey, or the actual audits, said that they had at least one of the types of security incidents similar to either a student breaching it or the actual attacks that would disrupt the network and prevent people from either doing work or actually doing school things. So that was another kind of interesting thing to see. And then last up for news, I found this article on Security Week, and it talks about how in order to actually facilitate the Stuxnet attack, the US had a, I think it was a Dutch intelligence officer go undercover and help actually get that malware onto the nuclear, yes, that's the word I was looking for, centrifuges to actually stop that or stop them from working properly. And if you're not familiar with Stuxnet, it was a US campaign joint with Israel, I think. I think officially Israel and the US was associated to cripple the Iranian nuclear program back before they were as far as they were. And it was an air-gapped network that people were trying for a really long time to figure out how to jump the air gap, and they eventually used the intelligence officer, and I think something similar to what we do now is just dumping USB drives in parking lots. So kind of cool to see, and I will have these links posted in a little bit. Un momento. So Shannon, you're up first. Do you want this laptop or yours? Okie dokie then.